Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bub and Rumbuka joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot, Natty. Hey, good evening. I was watching in the back, seeing Kins running away and coming back. I thought, is he going to make it back in time? Hey, welcome to a shed night with Trackside with Cockpit Media. Proudly brought to you by Vase Engineering and Supplies Limited. Also, our good friend Lala, TWS Technical Welding Services. And of course, we thank big thanks to our friends at Repco Huntley, Mike, and Total Property Maintenance. And we've actually got Kins. We've got to have Lala on and Peter Rees on tonight as a last-minute thing to give us an insight into what happens in the pits after a race or during the race, what they're thinking when they're watching stuff, you know. So that's another different angle for the fans, Kins. But, mate, Anzac weekend. Wow. What a great weekend, mate. I mean, we can only look at the positive side, which is what a great weekend racing, bud. Just absolutely fantastic. And we were hosted by TWS as well up in the club rooms of Colin and team up there, and you got to get gout the next day after Monday's episode. So, you know, how good was that, mate? I mean, the whole weekend, and Paul Vasey and the family, Kelly and all the boys put me up for the weekend, and mate, I just had a great time. What a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, it was a wonderful weekend, Books. Look, we did the build-up to the event previously to all of that as well, and it lived up to the expectations, put aside all the rubbish and everything else that kind of happened, mate. Overall, it was such a brilliant event. Racing was decent on the Saturday, but then, of course, Sunday was a different kettle of fish. But overall, I enjoyed it. I hadn't been to the track. I'd been excited to get up to the track because we did the initial build-up with Wade Jennings a little while back around the whole concept of it all. He opened up and shared a lot more. That was quite an eye-opener for many of our viewers a few months back and how it actually worked, the differences under the track. We got to see it firsthand, and, there was a fair bit going on there, but what I was used to, where I normally would park on their grass, which is all now the new pits, I ended up parking out on the main bloody road and walked a bloody mile or two. But
that was the interesting bit for me too, Kins, mate? Like, the all that parking had got, like, I worked it out. I think from memory, the last time I was at Waikaraka Park was about probably 2010-ish.
Wow, really?
No, 2011, probably 2013 was the last time. 2013, 2014 was the last time I was at Waikaraka Park. Man, that's going back a few haircuts, I tell you.
Oh, no. What was that when we were up there for teens, when we all caught up back in the day?
Yeah. Oh, no, I might have been to one after that, actually, when me, Brad, and Steve went up and we got lost on the motorway coming home or tanked in the wrong thing or something, and we got lost. But it was there. We went up there for the Super Dirt Cup, modified Dirt Cup.
Yeah, no, it was a brilliant weekend, like you said, mate. Did that formality that I do, on the Anzac morning, then made my journey up to Auckland, sat there in the cold for 3 hours, got some racing from 9 onwards, like many others obviously endured, and then we got home. I got home about 1:30 Sunday morning. I had planned to go to a 21 Speedway for a nosy, and as I do, but I never got there. The bed got the better on me, stayed warm, and then headed up to Auckland on Sunday just after 1, and it was good to catch up with everyone, mix and mingle, and say hi to all these different people. It's like that stuff when you talk to people, Books. I know what you're like, and when you talk to them and you walk away and you think, bloody hell, who the hell was that? It's quite embarrassing. It's like,
I forget who people are who I know well, so let alone trying to remember someone that's come and say hey. But a lot of people come and said hey, which was good. And it was good. I got to have a bit of like going up there on the sad day, driving to the track, Auckland traffic, you can shove it as far as I'm concerned. But I got to have a show on the way into the track as a passenger with Vase, watching all the people duck and dive and cut each other off, and just, mate, they're just hell for leather. And so I was saying to Vase, hey, shit, we get a show on the way to the track with racing, and when we get there, we'll get another show. So how good's that, you know? But yeah, it was awesome. It was I enjoyed it, and not just the teams racing, but on that Saturday night, mate. I mean, how spectacular and crowd pleaser was Brad Lane in that 1NZ modified band. I mean, he was just out the gate on it, wasn't he?
Oh, mate, the start at the back of the field. Look, he let it rip out at 21 Speedway earlier on the Sunday, and he was outstanding there from what I heard from everyone. But then just to turn up and start at the rear of the field, I think it was the best thing for fans because he really just let it rip around all of the cars. He really entertained. He's the true entertainer in modifieds. You know, no one comes near what this young man has done. And I was just talking to Books of Air. You know, we talk about the big names back in the 90s, 80s, 90s, your Bertrams and your Gorges. And I put them in a different way on how they became household legends in that class of modifieds. Yes, over the multiple wins they've achieved, what they've achieved in the class, how the numbers are massive back then. But when you see a young Brad Lane do what he did on Sunday from the rear of the field, not only once, but twice, and have the car up in the air, right around the outside, judging, which was a pretty mediocre track, and to do what he did and to put on the brakes, slip down the inside, go back around the outside. True entertainer, and is in a different class, in my perspective, in modifieds compared to the Bertram and the Gorges back in the day. This kid's got no fear. He's talented behind a go-kart wheel, but in that modified, if you didn't think you were entertained, well, I don't know what you're going to have to bloody do.
Yeah. If you didn't think that was entertainment, you might as well go home and sit in front of a TV and watch Play School or Sesame Street or something.
Go watch Shortland Street.
Go watch Shortland Street. Because, man, we were entertained all right. And, you know, the saloons put on. I'll tell you another thing on that Saturday night, Kins, that impressed me with those LS1s. Yes. I mean, you could just see that those things were an absolute handful to drive. I mean, they were all that power under the hood, obviously, and no downforce, nothing like the wingless sprint cars. And those guys, they had to drive them, man. And to me, they were the entertainment too. Like watching them, I really got into it because I knew how much, I could see how much of a handful the car was. And you could see them just going for it, you know. And it just, they impressed the hell out of me. That did. And then we had that big crash with the what do they call them? The 6-shooters. He went up the wall.
Yeah,
man.
195
Ks. Yeah. Well, Brad Lane said to me that he did the same speed at Waikaraka that night as he did at 21 Speedway, which was 160 clicks. So he was doing 160 clicks around Waikaraka Park. I mean, if you don't go wow from that, I don't know what's going to tickle your bloody thing, you know. And Luke Keegan better than Brad. I don't know, Scotty. That's a big statement to make, to be fair. I don't know about that. I saw a statement, a thing come up about what do we think about the final. The final is the final. It's won. The track is finished. That's it. We're not going to discuss what everyone else discussed on Facebook. It doesn't interest us. The powers that be said this is how it is, followed by the rule book and the laws, and that's how it should be. And that's it. End of story. So there we go.
Yeah. We're not going to take it down to their positive side of things. Look, we've seen all the social media rhetoric and everything like this. That's what it is. We're here to promote the sport in the spotlight. And look, the reality of it is for us who pay, what do we pay? 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks to get in there. Put yourself in the position of a driver, the crew and owners of vehicles. Think about what they've got to pay after all of the damage and the cost. The travel cost is diabolical. We all know that. But the expense of it all, for us, we got entertained in all the classes, to be honest, on the Saturday and Sunday. The teens races is the teens races, and the result, we're not going to get into that debate. You know, that's the thing I've been seeing lately, not only within Speedway, with a lot of stuff. And it's not just Speedway. Man, social media, you know, love it or hate it, it's just negative, some of it.
Yeah. And what we all need to do, Kins, is just focus on the positives. That's why I did that live on Sunday morning, because there was so much negative crap everywhere. Like Regan just put, get rid of social media. It's trouble. It is. Listen, if you want something good on social media, after you finish watching us, go jump on Rocket Racing's Facebook page and have a look what they did. Samantha and Brad went to a birthday party, got invited to a kid's birthday party, and went because they were at the Lanes, or Brad was their main guy, and that's what it's about. It's like on the Rees tour last year, Kins, when we went to that school in the middle of nowhere, and that's what it's about. Just involving these kids, and a kid invited a favourite driver to his birthday, and the driver went. I mean, you don't get any better than that. I mean, that is what it's all about, isn't it?
Oh, it is 100%. You know, I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen for some time.
Yeah.
And the cake and the big bloody banner that was sitting up in the background. I actually noticed the banner. I didn't realize it was a birthday at first. I was the banner. I was like, oh, shit, I want one of those bloody things. And then I read the rest of the story. They were invited to a birthday
You see the
party,
banner first,
and I
mate,
saw the
'cause
cake.
there's not much height to Sam and Brad. They're only little people. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just such a good thing to see, you know, like, man, we want to see more of that, you know. All I do anyway, you know.
Yeah.
Look at that, social media destroy our sport. You're right, Jason. But look, and the best way to stop it is all you guys are saying that, but let's start posting positive shit. Let's have some fun with it. I mean, what a weekend or Speedway. What a weekend. What a season so far, Kins. I mean, let's talk season. I mean, frickin' heck, it's been fantastic, isn't it? I mean, I've watched some great meetings. I've been involved with the Pits TV, got to see some great meeting. New Zealand Modifieds at Wellington, off the chain. New Zealand Saloons in Stratford, awesome. What else have I been to? Super Saloons at Miani. That was one of the, probably in mine, the top meeting of the season. It really was for me. Watched a few online. The New Zealand Super Stocks, New Zealand Stock Cars, all great meetings. You saw a back-to-back in the stock cars. I mean, how often do you think you're going to see some of the stock cars go back-to-back with those numbers, mate?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's been a hell of a season, 100%. And, you know, there's a lot of highlights in the sport, and it's the people that race in the classes for me that go through their pit gates, because, you know, from all classes are there to entertain us who are the fans. And I've enjoyed sitting there on the side of the track watching the racing. I enjoyed the weekend because Books and I haven't really caught up a lot like we used to over this season. But, you know, even commentating at Huntley, just being next to my mate Gabe and they're commentating, having fun on the microphone, entertaining the people, watching kids run around. We created the Huntley Speedway athletics track all of a sudden. But it's just people like Mike Harvey, Repco, giving the people, fans, hats, giving away stuff. It's that connectivity that I have when it's the fans, you know, and it's no different to us on our show. It's all about positivity and promoting everything. And
I just saw
all that stuff.
A comment there, kids. Sorry, Cody Mack's comment. I saw that video today. Thought Jaden Ward loaded his car to a trailer with his wing still on. And then I saw another one today. He was stopped somewhere and he had a puncher. So he did this. He put, this guy can't even do nothing right or something. So quite a hard case. I mean, little like things like that. And they put them up for fun for people to watch. That's the stuff we've got to remember, that fun stuff like that, you know, like that's what it's about, mate. You know, it's once the meeting's done, just focus on all the good shit. But I feel like you say, it's not just Speedway that gets it, is it? I mean, it's everything. If you need to get on Facebook to say something negative, then you've got a problem. Go to an AA meeting. They might help you. go to a meeting that says, get rid of the angry man or something. I don't know. Or have a beer or knock a JD's back. Have a shot. Or maybe not. If you're that angry, it might make it worse. But, you know, I mean, all I say to people is, you know, you just engage your brain before you open your shit mixer, basically, because, if we can just keep giving positive, the sport's only going to get better. Well, can you need to get back beside Booker at the track? Then I don't have to sing. Yeah, he had to sing "Come on the Bay." I mean, that's another thing. I got to sing "Come on the Bay" to the crowd. I mean, it was just a great. It's been a great, and it isn't over yet, mate. We got one this weekend. What have we got? Let's put up what we got this weekend. We got a huge one. Waikanaka Park this weekend, the 2nd of May. I think they've got a derby or something, haven't they, as well this weekend? Or something. It's,
they do have a bit of a derby as well. Look, and I'm going to head out to my favourite little track on a Sunday out to Wahoro. It's their big win it or bin it finale. I'll be out there commentating. So if you've got nothing to do, pop out there and support the Tid family and all of the volunteers and all the crew out there. Cool little track, and that's happening for you on Sunday. They've had a rough gig as well over the recent weeks, like many tracks. hampered by wet weather and everything like that. So that's their big finale season. Dare I say it, Books, a lot of tracks. I do know Gisborne's coming up next weekend. I think Taipa up the far north, King's birthday weekend. So there may be a few more little tracks still running.
Mate, that's a big thing. Next weekend, that's another track that needs your support this season is the Gisborne track, because the Awapuni Speedway, they have had a hell of a time this year. Weather, roads, everything. Just if you can get there and support them next weekend, do it. I'm going to park up there for 2 nights and enjoy the track. And it's going to be great fun. And yes, Daniel, I will certainly support my Magpies, my car ready for KINSER.
Yeah, because
go carts, mate, I tell you.
But he wants me to jump in there.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. I'll give it a go.
You need a little bit more weight into the corners, don't you? You're really 2 stone dripping wet, you are. After the weekend, you're a bit heavy of all that gout and all that alcohol, all that non-alcoholic beer that you drink. Yeah. But mate. But some people, all you guys watching and girls watching, what's put in the comments a favourite part of a meeting you went to? What's something that you enjoyed this year? Oh, there we go. KINSER, look at that. Last chance, people.
Tomorrow
to get your proposed tech changes in for SB1 New Zealand, and get your nominations in too of someone you think deserves or a track. Or I looked through the other day, I couldn't remember a lot of there's awards there for volunteers and stuff like that. I mean, we all walk around and watch volunteers. Surely I talk to some of them, but I don't know if everyone does. But man, there's some people out there that really deserve some recognition in their Kins, and a few tracks that I think deserve some recognition. I think everyone says I'm biased, but I think Miani certainly does this season. They've made a huge change and upgrade to everything this year and put on a fantastic meeting. So from all promoters, volunteers, rubbish. Yeah. It's just been a great season, mate. We've had the controversy and because you get that, mate. That's what you get in all sports, not just motorsport. All sport gets controversy, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. Hey, there's a lot of us out there that become referees when it comes to the game of rugby on our couch. We know everything more than the person that's controlling the game on the infield. It's no different to those who sit behind a keyboard instead of going face to face like the good old days and saying what you want to say. It's all good to be opinionated, but if you want to do it in a polite way and you can say it to someone, say it. But if you're going to sit there on a keyboard and type away and make it a bit more adverse because you want to get the clickbait and get everyone else to follow on what you've just said, it's just a different bloody world. Not like our days, Books. You had to go and say it face to face and just deal with it there. We saw someone happen with some dealings on that, but I'm not going to get into that.
The fight in front of us. The final race couldn't even start on time because they were punching up at the front. Some idiot. But, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate that happened. But, I know what people think sometimes, to be honest. Mind you, I've sort of come close to the season a couple of times thinking I'm going to punch that bastard, but you pull back, don't you? You don't always have to be angry. But we've got here some highlights. Backside tracks at Palmy teams for the first time was my highlight. Craig Wells, first time at Team Stamps at Palmy. I'm sure you would have loved that. Wow, that would have been I remember the first time I went to teams, it was an eye opener. Actually, you should see the NOR mental.
I
tell you what, that's something to remember too. Who remembers their first time they ever sat in a seat? I mean, I remember I got taken to Speedway, mate, as a young fella at Palmy North there. Wooden grandstand and everything's still there, and everyone else with other kids, other boys and girls are all running around. The first race came out, I sat down. That was it. I didn't move. That was me. I was hooked. Couldn't move. You were a lot older when you were first time, because our friend KINSER here didn't even know about Speedway growing up. It was his wife that introduced him to it. So how good's that? But I mean, what was that first time you went, mate? What did you? I mean, remember we talked to Murray Gorge. He said the first time he went and watched someone race. He saw modifieds. He went, I'm going to go race one of those. And he said to his wife, I want to get one of those. She said, well, you can have one if I get a lounge suite first. So he went out and bought her a lounge suite and then bought a car. I mean, how cool is that? What was it like for you? First time you turned up at a track and watched racing with your wife, mate?
Yeah, that was my girlfriend back then too, by the way. But that it changed my life, obviously, because I had done so many other sports, at top end scale, representing New Zealand here and there. But mate, to be involved with something like that, I've never looked back, to be honest. I too had dreams of doing this and that, and wanted to jump behind a bloody wheel. And I've never looked back, from the old Bay Park. That's where I got introduced in the late 80s. And I was thinking, oh, what's these big bloody cars? They were fast. And I'm going, oh, his name's Skinny. I'm skinny. I can be like him. I'm thinking, I can be like him. Looked at the wife. She goes, no, because that's how I got involved through my wife's family racing out of Palmy. All that type of stuff. But I've never looked back. And I have a lot of credit for every person that's been out there on the track since I got involved from the late 80s, bro. Because I know, it's expensive, but man, I just love the pure entertainment. I wish I put on weight because I ate a lot of hot dogs, but I didn't.
I suppose I suppose your wife remembers the first night of Speedway for you too, mate, because you were that excited when you got home, mate.
I wanted a jar of methanol next to my bed. That's how excited I was.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a jar.
Nowadays, people, they call that Viagra. No.
I've got that stuff. No, I haven't. No, I don't need it. Man, my old fella still works, so I don't need that stuff. Anyway, before we go too far south, mate, get us in the shit.
My first time was 1999 NZ Super Saloon Championship at Nelson, standing next to Dennis Bolt while he was being interviewed for TV. That was Mikey D. So his first time. So, yeah, I mean, shit, we all... Mate, I loved it. Palmy Speedway, and growing up watching, there was some, and the big thing at Palmy too, when I watched a lot of Speedway back in the day, was sidecars and solos. They were huge there, They were, And I remember when Peter Rees came on the scene too, back in that day, back for Palmy as well. So,
I remember watching Lala as well back in the day in his car out of Huntley. He used to go. Then I remember watching Colin and what the hell's his name? Down in the White Tour. Curtin. Oh, man, Curtin, who I knew well from just down the road. And Lala, they'll know who I'm talking about. But, and watching this little boat engine up in Auckland win a race, Kevin Free back in the day. Oh, it was like this little Mercury thing. I've got good memories, and I still have good memories. And that's what I love about the sport. And where I'm heading to with this is the family part of it, on our little show, mate, and how we were looked after over the weekend. That's the best thing for me. We have fun. You got to have fun, and just having those good buggers around you makes it fun. That's what I thrive.
That's what Wayne Allen just put, meeting so many cool people up and down the country week after week is a highlight for him. I saw it put up there for Maru Goodley, Liga Speed Media, getting on the infield this season for Miani Speedway, being the track photographer, learning so much more. I mean,
I remember this guy, Murray Vincent, I remember when Huntley went down to Stratford to do the big soccer thing in Stratford. I went down for a nosy and, Bill Curtin. That was him, Vaz. Bill and Trevor, him and his brother. Anyway, shall we bring in our guests who've been sitting there listening to us talk shit, mate?
I suppose we can bring them in together, can't we, kids? I mean, it's shit night, so let's have them both on together. Look, we got Lala and Pete. How are you, team?
I was pretty good until you started that conversation before.
You want to borrow some of his Viagra?
Well, I had to be careful when he asked me what was my first time. I said, what are you talking about, mate?
Shivers.
Gee.
So, listen, we got you guys on for a bit of a different perspective, I suppose, of how things work. I mean, we talked to managers in our build-up about how they manage teams and their perspective on stuff like that. But like you guys now, I mean, you're both ex-teams racers, so you've both been out there and done it on the track. But for now, you stand there and watch. Like Lala, for you're pretty much all go in the pits when it happens. When you're watching a race, a team's race like that on the weekend, and you see Flinny or someone go in, because as a team, I suppose you help everybody, not just your own car if you have to. I would imagine that's the case. Do you look at the car and try and figure out what's broken there, and then sort of does it go through your head like, oh, have I got that in the trailer or stuff like that? What do you do when you watch a race as being a pit crew, I suppose you'd say to say?
No, I don't really. I just watch the race, and car breaks, it breaks. You don't really know what's broken until it comes in. Most of us that do or have done team racing or do team racing, with the cars are have got everything they need to be repaired. So it's not really that much. It's more when it comes in where you start, you know, what you got to do to get them right, to get them back out. And yeah, I mean, everybody helps, and it's a bit weird, you know. You just sort of watch it. And what happens, you know. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's most probably changed, Lala, in some sense compared to where you're in the position now. You know, watching the family out there doing it compared to back in your day, mate. Like I mentioned the name Billy Curtin, most people would just race down the road to the good old wreckers, buy some of those extra parts that it's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, it's for the better. I mean, you can buy stuff off the shelf, you get your car going a lot easier, and it does help having those parts to race on a challenging track like we did on the weekend, you know. Yeah, so you got everything you need and the tools you've got, and that's why you're in a team, you know. You know, and like, it's a big ask to be in a team, and I was a bit worried about being back in the team scene, like team racing, but I'm glad that the Busters give Flynn a shot, and he's really enjoying it. And so am I, actually. Like, it sort of breathed a bit more of a spring in me step, you know. We've been having team race for a long time, you know, and sort of we've tried and can't get in, and then the Busters sort of asked Flynn and the rest of the boys at the start of the season, and they sort of put their names forward, but had a few problems with the 22, and we're getting to the bottom of that now. And then they sort of give Flynn a shot at Wanganui. And yeah, like pretty stoked, actually, you know. Really enjoying it. It's pretty hard work though. Sunday night was pretty hard. Saturday wasn't too bad, but she was an early morning Sunday, get the car fixed the Sunday night, you know. So yeah,
and that's some of the things that not too sure, might have locked up for
Kins, did you?
Yeah, just dropped him out until he gets his camera back on.
Oh, he probably didn't know I was going to leave it to tell him, bro.
I'll go on in.
Oh, Pete, if you could hear us as you touch some of your camera, if you can't, just exit out and come back in again, mate. No, okay, drop him down. I'll text him while we're talking.
Give him a text, yeah, see how he is. Yeah, you know, you're right, Lala, you know, when you take a look at the perspective from where you are, but there's also the other avenue we'll talk on, because the company and the family give so much to the sport, but you must be pretty impressed and proud of your young fella. You know, he comes up to us in the club rooms, we're sitting next to Dad, and he comes in and has a chat to Granddad, and he's been very impressive. I heard high regards around him at Wanganui, but to see it myself in Auckland and to do the job that he was told to do by most probably Thomas and Horse, it's done exceptionally well.
Yeah, I suppose. The team environment that Bay Park have with the likes of Todd and Elias and Horse, you know, have sort of put them in the right direction, you know. Because I mean, yeah, it's like everybody. Your kids don't want to listen to Dad, you know. But you know, I can tell him that I'm blue in the face. This is what I used to do, but I was no good at it. So he listens to and takes it on board, and yeah, it's a quite a neat team environment. I mean, every team will be the same, you know, but you've got to start somewhere, give him a shot, and then away he's gone, you know. You know, it's a sort of, you know, no team's any better than anybody else on the day, but a luck here and there. But there are some intimidating teams, you know, like Gisborne for a, you know, thing, you know. And Finn was like, geez, we've got Gisborne. I said, are you going out, son? I said, I'm not telling you. I'm like, why not? He said, it'll be a surprise. I'm like, no, you got to tell me. And, you know, like, you know, and you sort of think to yourself, let's go, you know. And he really enjoyed it, you know. And I must admit, like, we went to Wanganui, and the guys that are in the teams at the moment are pretty switched on. There's none of these park wheelgate shots now or at the moment, you know. I mean, you know, you get the front end wiped out if you're parked or something like that, which is it's not hurting anybody. You know, it's causing damage, but it's not hurting anybody. And there was some place or some racing on the weekend where people could have done those park wheelgate shots, but nobody did, you know. And I don't know whether it's just the unwritten rule or what it is, because I've been in the team racing scene for ages, but it's actually good to see. And everybody sort of walks away and goes to work on Tuesday, you know, or Monday, you know, and we have a good time, you know. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool to be a part of, you know.
Yeah.
So Pete, you what's your view on when you're watching from the stands, mate, and something happens, and do you sort of think shit? But I mean, you guys must know you've got everything in the truck anyway, have you? Oh no, his internet must be playing up, I'd say.
Yeah, I thought he'd locked up there for a second or so, and might be like you say, Books, maybe just the internet out there is having one of those moments of glitch, and this is why we've got Pete and Lala to join us, just to get a perspective from their point of view to cover off, obviously, in their mindset, because they're both experienced racers, either solo or even in teams events, and look, their families involved in it heavily. We know that, you know that, and that's the perspective we wanted to get, just to give the view of how we look at things in a different perspective from these two gentlemen. It's no different to how we did the build-up to the show last week, where we had the managers join us. That was a different view that we wanted to give to you, the viewers, how the managers prepare the team, how the selections are done, what actually may happen prior to each race. And, of course, there was some difference of opinion per different manager, because they gave us all these different views. Some managers will have the view of, well, listen to me. Some will take on board the drivers because they've experience. I don't know, Pete heard a lot of that, obviously, with dropping in and out and freezing on us, but it's interesting. Your perspective, Pete, we're talking about Lala, talking about his young fella Flynn, enjoying himself with the Busters. Well, your boys have been doing this for how long now? Oh, bloody many years.
Yeah, I did hear some of it. Yeah, I know what you're saying. As far as damage and stuff goes, you learn to bide your time.
Oh no, his internet is going to be playing up. I think tonight he's going to have to get that Starlink in. Oh, bloody hell. Last time we had him on, it was mint. The boys had him on, it was mint. And tonight it's gone all silly. His wife's she's streaming everything. That's what it is. We've lost him. He's locked up.
Yeah, he's locked up again. But, Pete will get that sorted. We'll get him back on with this point of view, because it's quite a valued view. When you take a look at someone that's hardly spoken around in regards to teams racing, and we saw him walking around the track as well, giving his assessment on it, because there was a lot of that happening on the Saturday. We all saw it, a lot of people looking at it. And I tell you what, the amount of times you saw a certain digger out there doing what they were doing, and a certain roller rolling around doing what they were doing, whether you thought that was entertaining or not. I think the people that made the most money might have been the shop underneath us. It definitely was a bar in the club rooms, but the shop underneath, you could smell all the hot dogs and burgers rolling out. So that kept people hungry and tried to keep them warm. Obviously, with the fair bit going on there, we all saw it and we got to see it. And, man, it was touch and go. And I got to say, some people just need to be patient before they go typing on the good old social media and getting out the different messages, which is portrayed as wrong in some sense. I'm not going to get into full details, but the racing got underway. We enjoyed it from 9 till about midnight, and then we saw a hell of a show on the Sunday. We just wait for Pete to pop back in. Ask Lala, Nelson Speedway pits, and you've been down to Nelson. Obviously, you're down there with the NZs, and enjoy yourself down there when you're down there. What about back in the day? Did you ever race down there in Nelson, Lala?
Yeah, I did. I went down. So we went down to the New Zealands there.
Yeah.
And sort of, hit it off with a few of the lads down there. Like obviously Brett Nichols and Blair Cunningham back in the day and all that. And sort of Boris and all those guys. And then we went down a couple of other times and did. We did their Easter meeting, right? Yep. They run Open Club Champs one night and then Club Champs the second, and we went down and did that, and quite enjoy going down there. They're a good group of guys, and the track's pretty cool once you get used to it, But I mean, we're talking 10 years ago was the last time I raced, So, but we still enjoy the camaraderie and going down there, It's certainly a good trip, Good guys, good track, So,
we'll try Pete again, mate. You're having a bit of internet trouble up there tonight, bud.
Oh, I think my power's going off and on. You fair?
Oh, well. Have you taken the screen off? Have you gone straight to the laptop?
Should have got that Starlink.
Just as he said it. Like he's not an angry man, the laptop would be thrown across the bloody workshop, wouldn't it? Eh?
No one would see it, to be honest. It's just frozen. There you go, everyone.
You probably find it is thrown across the workshop now.
Oh.
I'll get a text soon. He might give up because of this bloody crap.
Give him a tingle. We'll see if we can jump on his phone. But anyway.
Yeah.
I bet he doesn't like watching too much. You'll get used to it, though. You know?
Yeah. It's been good. Every time we've had them on, it's been good. So there we go.
There we go.
You'll get a bit sick of watching things. You'll get used to watching it, but it'll take a while, you know?
You'll try one last time, he's put.
All right, one more last time.
You'll try one last time when he comes back. There we go, he's left.
Yeah. But, aside from what you see in the pits and being involved for many years, Lala, but the other part too is, hey, look, the event on Saturday, Sunday was the had your sponsorship name on it, like was it ETS and everything. That's just a way to give back to the sport.
Yeah, it is what it is. We sort of give them a little bit of money here and there and help them out, and it's good to be part of, you know. Yeah, like it's the sort of, I don't know, the track's the track. It is what it is. Unless we give them a hand, get it going, it won't be there. So you've got to get up there and get going. I think they're running a meeting this weekend, and we've got a text today and asked if we want to take some super stocks up. If they could get enough, they'll run them. And we're like, yeah, we got 4 of them, so we'll get one of them up there. That's for sure,
Yeah.
Flynn's chopped his car up after the weekend. He got a little bit of damage, so he's into that. He's chopped all the crushers off and some bars and some outriggers, and he wants to change a bit of the suspension. He's been sort of talking to Todd and talking to William Humphreys a bit and all that sort of stuff. And he sort of said to William, well, I won't get you, you don't get me, and I'll swap cars at the end of the night, But, they got each other and they laughed and joked about it. And it's actually, like that side of it too, I quite enjoy. Like I was sitting in the stands beside Craig, which is William's dad, and then Graham Barr and all that, in Palmia Racing Bay Park, the first time we won, like, yeah, good job, Barry, and he's laughing and we have a good time, it's good fun. And then, Todd gets rolled in the second race and Graham's going, get out of there, Rebecca, and Kendall's sitting right in front of him. He goes, sorry, Kendall, and Kendall goes, oh, no, racing's racing, and and I'm yelling, yeah, your 30 seconds is over. Get her, yeah, that's legal. Sitting behind us going, what the hell are these fellas doing? And I say to Graham, get off that radio and stop talking to your lead cars and telling them what's going on. And it's all good fun. And like a race is a race, and what happens on the dirt stays on the dirt, Yeah. They all come in and we all, they shake each other's hands and they laugh and joke and have a good time. And it's what it's all about,
Yeah. Let's see if we can get you a conversation there, Pete, now, eh? One last try, you reckon?
He's back. He's back. Gone.
He's still there. It's glitching in now. Wonder what's going on in your place here, mate. So your thoughts on when the cars come in from the pits, mate, if we can get you quickly?
About the pits?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this role's quite new to me. I just stand back and watch. You got plenty of time, so it's no worth, it's no point in panicking and check them, and I just stand back and really watch, and the boys go to it.
And I suppose you've got in your head a full what's in the trailer, what's what, because I've seen it quite a few times. They come up to you and say, have you got this, have you got that? You pretty much know everything you've got in that trailer and spares, a list in your head, what's there.
Yeah, and that pretty much is for all the teams lately, because we've got cars in all the teams. Well, my role's just actually quite boring. Takes over the management, and he's good at that.
Yeah.
The boys do their. I'm just hanging around, really.
Oh, do you not even get your hands dirty now, Pete, or what? You just sit there and wave your arms and leave it at that? Oh, no, I think it's your internet, mate's playing up, because we lost your sound then as well, bugger.
Yeah, you coming and going. You obviously haven't.
It's a bugger.
Yeah, it's a bugger. Normally it works good at your place, or it has been. Your missus must be on there downloading heaps of stuff. We lost him.
Yeah, just massive delays and that, which is unfortunate, to be honest, just to get his view of what we're here to talk about. And he's maybe struggling to hear us and might be a massive delay there, but hey, that's sometimes you get the breaks when technology works.
He might have caught the Stratford internet bug. No, you're cutting in and out, Pete, unfortunately, bud.
Oh, there's always next week. We can talk about the Gisborne wrap up of the season.
Gizzy. We've got to talk about Gizzy next week. So,
all good. We'll leave you with lala.
All right, mate. See you later, Pete.
We appreciate you making the effort, mate. Thank you. Oh, gone.
He's had enough. He's had enough, lala. He's left you in the in the deep end of things to talk away with us and share your little thoughts on behind the scenes, and just being there with the team. And you've done it obviously through your years with your racing. And right, when you talk about it, we're talking to Shearer now, first time. So let's bounce back all those decades ago. When was your first bloody time at Speedway? Would have been with the old man, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so I can't really remember, but he used to take us to Forest Lake, drive down the hill and sit us on the top of the food cart so he could go racing, and he knew we couldn't wander off if we were sitting on the top of the food cart. So, and then, we sort of moved to Auckland, and he started building cars with Patrick Gallagher, and they used to build cars and muck around. It used to take them forever because they were a bit pretty good at what they done, and it used to take them ever to build a car, but when it got to the track, it used to be good, And then he was used to race a bit at the Old Bay Park and that sort of stuff, and on holidays or school holidays, or if he could, we'd sort of catch up with him. We'd race at Auckland, and we'd go along because we were living in Auckland back then. And then, I don't know, I sort of Auckland, and then really got stuck in when Huntly first opened, because Dad was sort of on the committee and helped out. And back in the day when Flaps and them were building the track, and Phil Darve, and there was heaps of them, like Paul Wade, all those sort of fellas, and Greg Pickerel, and all those sort of older guys that been around forever. And then I started going out there on a Sunday and put the drums out, because he said 45 drums around the pole line, rolling the drums in and out. And then I used to a good friend of mine, George Ronk, had he bought Mike Gawilli's car, the coupe with the Ford 221 in it, And the truck driver said, I can't race this weekend. Do you want to drive it? I'm like, oh, yes, he has. So you go out and have a skid in it. And then Brian McLeod, which is Dad's business partner back in the day, had a street stop. And he said, you ever go in that? So I had to go in that and drove that a bit. And then we started, Kevin Free sort of said to Dad, I'll build 2 cars. You supply the steel and for 2 cars and a diff and all that, and I'll build a car. And the old man said, oh, yeah, okay, sweet as. And Dad wanted it, and Kevin built 3 by the time we finished our one. Yeah. And then we got it back and finished it off, and I started driving that. And that was a stock car back in the day, or A grade, Yeah, I think the first meeting I did at Huntly, we were out there, and old Chris Britton was in his tank, and he took a swipe, and I took a swipe at him, and then he put me up the wall, and I come in, and Dad was going, we're here to set the bloody car up. Why are you bombing him for? I said, well, he hit me. And he goes, well, okay, fair enough. And we just raced like that, Get in the team and race for Huntly in the team, and won the team racing, and we mucked around, and we built standard stocks, and then Dad built 5 of them, and Murray Vincent got one from back in the day. Marin Zampese, all those sort of guys,
Oh, I remember that name, yeah.
Zamps, and things like that. And they put a Ford in my one, and I don't like Fords, man. I'm a whole man. Dad said, you're going to build your car, we'll give you a new one, and we'll put a Ford in it. And whatever. So he put a Ford in it. So I made the bonnet up, and I welded the bonnet down. What did you weld the bonnet for? I said, I don't know, nobody to see what I'm driving. You know? And of course, Blair had the old Falcons back then, and he'd clean up, and I'd go out there and I'd be in the lead, and somebody would, I don't know, I'd just see somebody and spin him or hit him and crack and have fun, and and we bought an old Doug Holmes flatty, and and we raced that and had fun on that, and sort of just progressed through that, and then we bought what did we do? We got out for a bit. Oh, we had an old stock car. We turned that on, built a super stock. John Van Amsterdam built us one. That's down at Hawke's Bay now. The guy that owns Hawke's Bay Doors owns it. I think he still owns it. I think
Hawke's Bay
Matt,
Doors?
Yeah. The guy that owns Hawke's Bay Doors, I forget his name.
Regan might know. Regan's watching. He might put a comment in for us.
So he bought it. I know the last time I seen it was racing in the Orange Roughies team, and I think Mike Mack was in it.
Oh, okay.
Had a real old sort of a body on it and things like that. And then, we used that. We changed that, or we sold it, and Scott Redfern drove it for a bit, and they turned it back to stock car. That's him. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, we mucked around and we did lots of stuff, and we won Palmerston back. I think the first time we ever went there. Kevin Free, Malcolm Beer, Steve Burley.
Well, that was one of our questions in one of our competitions, Lala. Who was the youngest driver ever to win a team's champs? And that's you.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. We're pretty lucky back in those days too. You know, like we had Dad was right into it, and the wife and the two kids back then, they sort of supported us too. So we'd go away, and the old crew cab used to take us 14 hours to get the palmy, because the crew cab had a bread box on that was full of spears and,
I don't know if you can see that comment, Lala, but Mike Harvey, obviously Repco, Huntley, when your team's racing back in the day, is he any team you wish you would have raced for back in the day? Is there a team you would have put your hand up as, I'd love to have a race with them, or you were happy with sticking with your home track team?
Oh, we made so the AVD, so Clark Proctor and all those fellas, and startup AVD, Dave Holly and all those guys, and Richie Wright was in it, and sort of knew Clark and all that sort of stuff, and Huntley were going through a bit of a restructure, and I don't know how it all come about, but I ended up in the AVD team. And that was pretty cool, like it was sort of, and Auckland was struggling too, and there was, two different Auckland teams, and but that was pretty cool. Phil Drake and all those were in the team. Noel Hawthorne,
Yeah,
and that was pretty cool, but I mean, we raced for Huntley, or raced for Rotorua, obviously. And we did a North Island select team at Bay Park one year in stock cars because they were a bit short, things like that. We just sort of enjoyed the teams racing side of it,
And that's the key part, as you said, Lala. It's the enjoyment of it. We talk highly off air prior to starting the show about having fun, the fun that Books and I had with your dad there, just this hospitality, Vasey, even the Pom, Chris Allen. We got to talk with old Mr. Shane Penn in front of us, even Tony Galbraith. Would you believe he still got his bloody modified? But his reaction and his age to get back out on the tarmac doesn't seem quite to be there these days, but he's still got his old modified, eh?
Yep. He's a good fellow. We know him through Huntley days and all that, and my engine builder, Craig Hyland, or the kids' engine builder, our engine builder, Craig Hyland, and Tony raced together, and Tony gets his stuff done at Craig's as well. So it's sort of a pretty cool experience, and we sort of talk to Craig and Tony and get them along, and come along and sit up in the stands and watch, and sort of Tony enjoys it. You might say he doesn't, but he still walks away with a smile, and and all those sort of guys are people we enjoy. We get some seats up there, and like you say, Shane Penn and his wife are up there. They come and sit down and sit in your seat. It doesn't matter, like it's they're good people. It doesn't hurt anybody,
Yeah,
so
100%.
And and it's all good fun, and that's what we do it for. We sort of never won anything apart from the team racing, but I still enjoy what we do. So
you said before, Lala, when you're talking about how now that you're doing a bit of team racing and your boys in there, it sort of put a bit of a jump to your step a bit more. You enjoyed it a bit more. Were you starting to feel a bit stagnant being in it so long and just sort of doing the same old? Was it a bit of a lull for you there, and you've sort of now got that fire in your belly again a little bit, or is that what you're meaning? Or
it's sort of like, we still enjoy the sport. That's why we've got 4 cars, and all the kids enjoy racing. Some weekends it gets a bit, you get a bit down in the dumps. Like, we built a new car for Caleb, and he's just had an absolute shit run.
Yeah.
And you sort of feel a bit sorry for them or Caleb, because you build this big flash new car, and we're going to go out there and set the world on fire, and can't even finish bloody meeting. Through no fault of his own. So you start getting down, and then Flynn goes pretty good, and then you think, sweet. And then Kyle's going pretty good, and he's sort of been a bit busy at work and can't make some meetings and makes other meetings. And Brennan goes pretty good. He's when we decided we'd go to the Mount, he wasn't that too sure about the Mount, but he sort of loves the place now, and gets the old girl hooked up on the high line up there and just burns around, for a car that's I think it's like 18 years old or something. It's like all our cars are pretty old. So, but we look after them and we enjoy what we do. And with Flynn being in the team, you're sort of mixing with I shouldn't say the high end of the sport, but you're mixing with good guys in the class, Yeah. And you get to talk to them a bit more and say hello, and you get to meet all the guys you used to race against, because their kids are doing it,
Yeah.
Days, and you're sitting in the stand, and we might miss a whole team race because we're talking about when we used to do it, Yeah, whatever,
Yeah, it's like the back in our day, you share those memories, and that's what it's about. Hey, here's a quick question from Paul Mason. Would you ever get back in a car like a golden oldie stock car? Would you ever do that?
Nah, not while the kids are racing,
Okay.
I don't know. We don't have enough time to do anything but what the kids do, Been pretty fortunate this year. We've sort of taken Flynn on board, and he's only doing his own car. He's supposed to help the brothers out, but he's sort of like, I did a little bit of work on Caleb's today, but he's got his all chopped up, and so he sort of works, and what he does during the day means I can come home at night and spend some time at home, and the wife probably hates the buggery that I'm home every night, but So, but that side of it's been good too, and like we've sort of we've sort of Dad sort of stepped away a little bit at work, and we've taken a little bit more and sort of taken it over and starting to run it now. And so you sort of, the time sort of 5 o'clock comes around, you're sort of just knackered, But it all works out. They all work at work and pull their own thing and do their own thing and help each other out amongst the cars. And like on the weekend when Flynn broke, he come in, and I think he was more happy that he got 2 tow trucks, like he was like,
double towy, eh?
All right for you, so you ain't got to pay the bill. He's like, and to see that and all the crew ripping and the Bay Park team, like just that the other drivers helping to get the car ready, some of them are 6 guys in the team, 6 drivers, and some of those drivers are helping us to get our car going, They could go, I'm not going to get it going, he'll have to sit on the grass and I get to race,
Yeah.
But no, that's not how it works. They're coming in, they're ripping in, and, like I'm doing the diff, and we've got Dino and Graham, my other pit crew, like the 3 of us, well, really those 2, because I'm a bit like Pete, sort of, you do this and you do that, and I'll have a spanner and swing it around, but Dino and Graham sort of get the cars going, and Brendan was there, and he rips in and gives us a hand, and Kyle on the Sunday, he's seen that we lost the bonnet, he couldn't make it on the weekend, come in on Sunday, got a sign writing machine going, and we did a bonnet, he re-sign wrote it, and we go back up and we're good to go, so sort of, it's just the way it all works, it's sort of, it's cool fun, like, and that's why we do it, you know. But I mean, I'd hate to have to start out now and buy a car if you haven't been in it for as long as we have, you know, because really only cost us time, you know. We don't, you know, like if they got heaps of money, they don't have heaps of money. We just, it's like Pete and all that. It's like everybody that team races. You spend your money in the right places when you need to, because that's what you want to do with your car, you know. We prepare it no different than we do if we go into a New Zealand title. Anything like that, we still do what we got to do. Just, you know, we do a few little things, you know, we check plugs on starter motors and we check gauges and things like that. But other than that, everything we've got in our trailer is what we need to go racing every weekend, you know. Apart from this weekend, Flynn broke the Z-link and the torque arm and ripped the front end out the 3 shots. So he says to me, "You keep Caleb busy, I'm going to his trailer." So I'm talking to Caleb and Flynn comes back with his arms full. Where's all my shocks and where's my torque arm gone? Oh, I don't know. And he's looking down. It's all in here. Flynn goes, "Oh, thank you, bro." You know. You know. So, but yeah, and that's how it works, you know. And we get it all replaced and cut out, and you know, build spares back up again, and away you go, you know. And yeah, it's just a good old time, and you know, it's the same for everybody that team races, you know. So I mean, some of those guys are just, they do it for the love of it, and they love doing it, you know, just like we do, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want to see anybody hurt, and like I said before, you know, there's none of these, doesn't seem to be, well, the 2 team meetings I've been to, there doesn't seem to be any of these sort of park shots and wheel gates and side rails, you know. Front end one's a front end one, you know, like it sort of pokes them out of the way. You don't like them, but it doesn't hurt the driver, you know. They're not there to hurt somebody, you know. So it's sort of, you know, so yeah, it's good fun, you know, like it's still good fun. It's really cool, you know.
Quick question from Anzac, Lala. Do you remember racing your standard stock at the 1999 New Zealand Stock Car Champs? You were steering it up with the A-graders of the time. Yeah.
I wasn't really steering it up. They were just faster and they were just hitting me out of the way. It looked like I was steering it up, you know. Yeah. So I used to race with, back in the day, you could race with an open face helmet and have goggles, you know.
Yeah.
And be at Huntley on a Sunday, and you'd be cruising around and you'd be coming last. And I lift the goggles up so I can see what's going on. And then Minty back then was the commentator, you know, and you go, "Oh, Lala's got his goggles up. Oh, everybody better watch out," and have a bit of fun with the crowd, and it was pretty cool, you know. So
yeah.
But yeah, even back then you didn't do it to hurt anybody. You just did it as you can, you know. And like this, I don't know whether, I mean, hey, Palmy might be different in the final, you know, but I don't know whether just the team drivers of today are just a bit smarter about what they're doing, you know. Like I watched, you know, used to watch Ashton and all them and think, God, those fellas hit hard, you know. And Flynn was in the wrong spot. Well, I thought was in the wrong spot, and Asher was coming. I thought, boy, this is going to hurt Flinny. And Asher just, like, he gave him a good shot, but it didn't hurt Asher, you know. Like probably 2 or 3 years ago, Asher would have just, like, blew on his lights out, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh, no, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. Get out of the way, Flinny. But it was, you know, like it still, Asher still won the race, and Flinny got, you know, and the crusher was crushed, and he had no wheel, and and you know, you come in and he's not hurt, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, it's all sort of changing a little bit, I suppose, you know, because to win you need 6 cars, you know, at the end of it, you know, and you can't really afford to lose one from a stupid hit, I suppose, you know, and sort of Flynn, to me's at Wanganui, he was told just go from corner to corner, just sit and wait, you know. And some of the older fellas we used to team race come down and said, mate, that was like old school. Like in a 10-lap race, I think he did 4 laps, you know.
Yep.
And he didn't, like, there was not a mark on his front bumper, but his back bumper was hammered, you know. Yeah. and it just goes to show you don't need to do the big hits to win either. You know, just
I think a lot of them have learnt that now, that you don't need to wreck your car to win. You don't have to put that big hit to do it. You got to keep going, you know, and just all you need to do is slow cars up, and the hits are normally slowly up the wall now. There's a few big ones that do come in, but it's not as severe as it used to be, is it? But is there a another class that you enjoy watching, Lala, or you just sort of only get to see your supers run and stock cars run, or is there another class that you like watching? Like we're talking about how Brad Lane puts on a show in that modified.
If I ever had or somebody offered me a skid in a modified, I'll probably say you know, like I quite like the class. It's sort of dying up this end, if you know what I mean. Like it's have the numbers, like when you go to the South Island and battle and all that, and you see them down there. They're pretty cool, you know, and I'm not saying they're not cool up here. They're cool up here as well, but the old super saloons, you know, because so many super stock drivers have moved to them. I don't particularly don't want to go and race one, or don't feel like racing one, but because the likes of Benstein and Mark Osborne and Thomas Stanaway and all those sort of guys have all moved along that way. You sort of watch and see how they're getting on, and you know, so and that sort of, I think they're ugly as bugger when those wheels suck underneath them or whatever they do. Like, oh Christ, they look ugly, but they go fast. You know, like I watched a bit of that 21 Speedway, the highlights. You know, Morris Cowling was out there. You know, and I was talking to him on Sunday night. I said, "How'd you find that, Morris?" Again. Lana, he said, "Oh mate, like that was fucking awesome." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, good, bro," you know. He goes, "Why don't you get back in there?" I said, "I'm too old." He said, "How old are you?" And I told him, and he said, "Oh, I'm double that." And I'm saying, "What are you doing wrong?" You know, and so like when you watch his boy go out there in those super saloons on Sunday night, you know, driving around the outside of those cars like they were, and Brad Lane, like you're saying earlier, like it's just. When you see what we do and what they do, you take your hat off to them, you know? Like, well, we're 1,500 kg, so when we sort of bounce out of a hole and come down and our wheels are only 8 inches wide, it's a little bit different. But to see them treat the track like it's dead smooth and fast, it's cool to watch, you know? You know, and always, you know, take my hat off to those sort of fellas that are game enough to do that, you know? Like, we used to go to Waikaraka when Dad raced. He'd pick us up and we'd go there, you know. And back in the day, there was Roger Bertram, like you say, in full game, the wild man, you know. And like, and when we first went there, he had a yellow car, and he was like, "Why do they call him wild man, Dad? It's just watch, you know." And if he wasn't sideways and fully crossed up and wheels off the dirt and winning, he was in the fence, you know. He just didn't care. He just raced hard out, and it was really cool back in those days. You know, him and Bertram used to have some, you know, in Auckland. So, you know. So.
Just to wrap it up here, Lala, it must have been an honour for you to have Greg Murphy race your stock car, the X-Wade Super Stock at the Super Cheap Autos Colours, where the Tiger Wood event was at Huntley in 2006, eh?
That was pretty cool. You know, like Steve Williams contacted us. Well, he didn't contact us, but obviously Red and the club had something going there. And so I don't know how it'll come about, but we said, we'll do it. So we put Greg in the stock car, and because I still had that, and we had the Wade Super Stock. So we did it all the sign writing up and Hog's Breath Cafe colours and all that sort of stuff. And we put them out. But the last one we've just done, what we did with Steve, we had Greg and the Drifters and Ryan Wood and all them, you know, at Rotorua for the Starship Hospital.
Yes, that was a good meeting.
That was really cool, you know, getting those guys involved and, you know, like just those drifters and different classes of sport, you know, getting the V8 supercars, and Greg come along to that, and, you know, we sort of put them in horses' tank, so it's something different because everybody knows who Greg is. And, you know, I think Ryan Wood ended up in William Humphrey's car, and I think Todd had Richie Stanaway, and
Hemingway was in Vasey.
Yeah.
Not Hemingway. Heimgardner was in Vasey's car.
You know, Daniel Thing and Dang and all them there, and I think it was Mavy's car. It was just really cool, you know, and those fellas really enjoyed it, and that's what probably was cool for us, was watching that and watching them get out with a big smile on their face, you know.
Did you ever race against Wayne Wilding, mate? Did you ever race against Wayne down in the south?
Probably not, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, mate, I'm like you fellas. People come up, "Hey, you going, Lala? Yeah, bloody good, mate." And they walk away and you say to Lisa, you know, my wife, "Who the hell was that?" Oh, shit, no.
Like I see Brad Lanes put, "Cheers, mate. Brad, you must have a bigger seat. Put Lala in your modified one night."
No. I'm not that keen.
But even Tracy Vincent there, someone needs to put Brad to give him a shot on the sprint car. I know he's done the sprint car. I think he told us once down at Harrisville, but yeah, especially on that bloody new 20 on Speedway. But yeah, it'd be good to see how it would go and amongst some of these drivers of this era. But I think that's about a wrap for a bit of our shared night and a bit of a good chat there with Lala. And I see Mark Decky was in here trying to give you some cheek. Maybe with Pete Noddy, get some Rees cars, mate. So we'll see what happens. He's still going around it.
No. We're happy with what we got. We're working on them. And, yeah, like, I mean, I don't know, like, the kids have all sort of made hints that that's what they sort of want. And, yeah, so we built a new one for Caleb. And the car itself, I can't see it being a problem. We just need to get our head around what we're doing. And Flynn's got some different ideas and he talks to people. And I suppose that's what we sort of enjoy too. You know what I mean? Sort of, yeah, like just the challenge of trying things different. You know, we talked to our shock man, Mark, and he's been, you know, over the years he's helped and we've sort of fine-tuned them. And it's, I don't know, like any given night, like sort of Flynn proved with the engine he had at the World 240s, the second tier, you know. Caleb was close to qualifying. We had close in Wellington. We never got there, but we're getting close, you know. And I suppose, you know, you need a little bit of luck, you know?
Yes.
100%.
You know, like Kyle started off there, Wellington grid 5, yep, we're away, gets to the first corner and gets turned around, you know? It's like, bloody hell, and that's your champ's over, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, you keep coming back, you say to yourself, Jesus Christ, why do we bother? But next year we booked him for Stratford already, you know? So,
it's just what you do. It is what you do.
We got to get in before everybody else because we've got like bloody 30 people that go, so we book all the motels out before anybody else gets in.
Awesome. Hey, well, look, thanks for sharing a little bit about your racing career back in the young days from putting the barrels out there at Huntley and also at Forest View, sitting on the food truck, and then just sharing your insight behind the scenes, you know, what goes on there. And what you actually shared, Lala, is no different to what Books and I shared with your family, the Vazies and the Palm and everyone else, was their camaraderie, the strength of the family, and overall, what overwhelms it all is the fun element. If you still enjoy it, you still do it. The kids are out there doing what they do laps. But, you know, they could be doing dumb shit, other dumb stuff, but they're out there entertaining fans to get along. And that's what we always said is on our show, Books and I, you know, get your backtrack side. If you've got nothing to do on Saturday, this is just about what's happening up in Auckland, the Fireworks Spectacular, Demo Derby, 5 o'clock. You've got Burnout Cars, the Crane Drop. You got the Lolly Cannon and many others, Saloon Champs, and even a monster truck. And then on Sunday, if you've got nothing to do, hop in and support the wonderful team out of Waharo, the wrap-up of the season and win it or bin it, the big finale. So they've got a fair bit out there. But Lala, thank you, mate.
No worries, boys.
We enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Been a good night.
It is. Yeah.
Mate,
Bit of a shame that Pete's internet was down. We didn't get another view of it, so it would have been good to hear, but maybe another time. So, yeah.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed.
And also thanks, too, for your ongoing support of our show. You know, your logo sitting next to Vazy and many others. So, you know, the generosity you look after us, we look after you in the sport. And it's much appreciated, mate.
Yeah. We don't do it for any other reason, but what you fellas do for the sport's good, you know. No negative stuff. It's all good stuff. And that's what we've got to promote through our sport is the good things, you know.
Yes.
They definitely outweigh the bad things. No matter what anybody says, you know, there's way more good times than bad times, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Lala. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Look, you know, you watch the league and you support the Warriors and they get beaten by the Panthers, the coach or the ref didn't do it right, and But if the Warriors had won, the ref was meant, you get that, you love it or hate it, it's no different than anything else you do in the sport, somebody, like I'm watching my cars and somebody cuts the grass and spins one out and nothing happens, and I used to get a little bit, not bitter and twisted, but why didn't they see that? But, you got to remember there's 25 other cars out there they got to watch, not just you,
Yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't want their job, it's a thankless job and they get so much shit for what they do, but they're good at what they do too, like, I mean, our car come in double towies on the weekend and they just dumped it in the middle of the pits because they couldn't get it in. Speedway New Zealand come down, I don't know the name of the official, but he was grouse. He put some cones out. He kept, like told the public, watch out, this is a through fair, because the cars were coming off the track, and he stood there the whole time we fixed it, and they don't need to do that. They've got other things they could be doing, but it saved us, we weren't worried about getting run over because he was there, and and there's plenty of people come to have a look to see how much damage Flynn had done, and if we were going to get it fixed and get out for the last race, and and that sort of stuff is what people don't see, it's like, the referees and the clerk of the courses, should we race, shouldn't we race? At the end of the day, we raced and it was good, I don't know, like it's everywhere you go, there's something wrong. There's always something wrong with the track, or there's something wrong with this or something wrong with that, but we're there to race and that's what we do. And at the end of the day, it was a good meeting,
Yeah.
We'll leave it on that high note. With it being a good meeting, and everyone that was there, they would know exactly what we're talking about. Lala, it's always a good pleasure to talk to you. We'd be here till midnight if we keep going, mate. But, you look after yourself. He will. But you look after yourself, mate. And again, much appreciated. Thanks for joining us, eh?
Always, lads. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Lala. Thanks, mate.
Hey, mate. See you, mate.
Awesome.
There we go. That was a good night of our shed night. It's a shame that we lost Peter, but hopefully we can get him back some other time to get that view and his view on stuff as well like that, because it's interesting for me, Kins, to hear his view opposed to Lala, because both of them have been in it for a long time, and been around and both have done a lot for our sport. Whether you like Pete or you don't like Pete, whether you like Lala or you don't like Lala, you can never take away that both those guys have done a hell of a lot for our sport and entertained us over the years. So, and that's the positive we've got to take from it. But other than that, mate, great night again, buddy, and appreciate everybody that tuned in and joined us tonight to listen to Lala tell us the stories of old and new with his kids, and it's just an absolutely great night and a great weekend we had, Kins. So enjoy your weekend this weekend, team. If you're going to Wakaraka Park, be safe on your travels. Enjoy it, people. And like I say, next week we're going to do a build up for Gisborne for their 2-nighter. Maybe we'll get Pete back for that to talk Gizzy's big weekend, and we're going to have Sam Hughes from Gisborne Speedway join us as well to have a chat about those people. So same time, same bat channel next week, Kins.
Yeah, exactly. Be safe out there. I'll see those out of Wahuru. I'm going to be out there on the Sunday, but otherwise, like Tracy said, I'll be watching the Wars. Oh, the Eels, Tracy. We don't know what's going to bloody happen. Take care, everyone. Good to see you over the weekend as well, and have a safe week. Enjoy the last day of the month, and get ready for May on Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.
That's it. Thanks, team.
Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bub and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight.
Give it the hoot, Nettie.